Going from full size now to Arisu, the Monsgeek M6 is the most affordable CNC aluminum keyboard in the Arisu layout out in the market, only slightly beating the Rakk Haribon by hundreds, but internationally, it only competes with the Keychron Q8. So let's see how it fares against the competition. Disclaimer: Monsgeek did send this unit out for review, but as always, my opinions are mine. The Monsgeek M6 is available through Monsgeek's website and locally, or even through Shopee, priced at 6,499 pesos or 109 USD for all the colors, in which I have the black with me. Going over the simple box, we are greeted with the board itself wrapped in a plastic cover and the included tape to reduce any shorts. Next to that are the accessories such as the manual, extra gaskets, the screw-in stabs, some extra tape for the force brake mod, extra screws in case you lose some, as well as the coiled cable. Going back to the keyboard, I got myself the black version to see how Monsgeek anodizes other colors they offer, and first impressions, it looks quite stunning and dark. I have a Monsgeek M7 in black as well, and will compare them in the next few videos. Moving on over to the build process, like any other Monsgeek keyboard, this has almost the same components and materials that are needed for the build. I first added in the safety tape as well as the foams into the case, making sure that it is in the right orientation. Next up, I added in the force brake tape to the screw points to be able to reduce any pinging that might come to the case. After which, I then proceeded with the PCB, adding all the screws, plates, and stand-ups into the mix. Next up are the switches, in which Rakk also sent out the Piano B3 Pro linears for me to check out. These are a PC top, nylon bottom, long pole palm stem, with a 50-gram operation force. It sounds clacky out of the box, just like its previous iterations, and I think it's a perfect fit for the build theme of this keyboard, which is black and white. Speaking of the theme, adding into that is the keycaps, which are the Bow MDA Propel ones, with all the keys you'll need for almost all types of layouts. And unlike XDA, these are sculpted keycaps, with a low profile into them, and in use, I find it alright to type on. And finally, here's the build, with all the foams, force brake, and Rakko's Piano B3 Pro linears. Enjoy! Weighing just shy of 2.3 kilograms, the M6 is an Arisu-styled keyboard that focuses on comfortability on typing by making its layout ergonomic. If you want to know more about the history of this layout, I did just that with the Alice Plus review last year. But to summarize, this layout, which has been only seen on the high-end market, is now available to the consumer market, all thanks to brands like Rakk, Rakko, Monsgeek, and Keychron. As such, you have a 65% layout on the front, with thick bezels surrounding all the sides of the keyboard. An odd choice, since the Alice Plus had contours and such, but I do get why they did this. CNCing a rectangle keyboard is far faster and efficient than cutting one to size. For me, it looks so nice, but for others, this looks too big. I'll leave that up to you to decide. As for the build, I've got no complaints. It's still your bog standard Monsgeek product with all the accenting on the sides and clean anodization everywhere else. A note I want to say here is that I hope they make the front height a little bit shorter, as I'm constantly using a wrist rest for this, something contradicting on an ergonomics focused layout. But again, these are the trade-offs you'll get going with a budget-oriented model. The PCB is perky RGB and hot swap with any 3 to 5 pin switches, and in typical Monsgeek fashion, it's BIA compatible out of the box, something we love to see. The USB Type-C is thankfully separated with the daughter board, and the board doesn't exhibit any flex cuts, giving you the fullest of sounds this one can offer. And while the PC plate and gasket mounting isn't new with this release, I'm glad they're sticking with it with all of them. Though in the future, maybe a second release of this would aid with another option like a top mount in my opinion. So in conclusion, if you're looking for a bang for the buck Arisu-style keyboard for not a lot of money, I say this is a great option. I remember the days where the barrier of entry for this style of keyboard is the YMDK wings. It cost a lot more than this, and the mounting it had was horrendously integrated. In 2023, you have options flooding the market, coming from Monsgeek, Rakk, Keychron, and the likes. It's now up to you to decide which one caters you the most. My vote for my international audience is the Monsgeek M6, but for locally, I think the Rakk Haribon is still the better bang for the buck. How about you? What do you think of the Monsgeek M6? Let me know down below. I'm John J. Mimaba, and I'll see you in the next video.